Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. My name is Kriga, and tonight I want to tell you a story that isn't just something I heard or read. This is something that happened to me, a series of events that unfolded over many long, quiet nights, and it changed the way I see the darkness forever. You know that feeling when you're working late and the rest of the city has gone to sleep? The usual daytime buzz is replaced by a deep, humming silence. The streetlights outside your window cast long, dancing shadows that seem to have a life of their own. It's in those moments when you're tired and your guard is down that you start to notice things. You realize the night is never truly empty. It all started when I took on a job that required me to work through the night, often until the first hints of dawn. My workplace was a large, older building in a part of the city that was usually bustling, but became a ghost town after 10 p.m. at first. It was just the solitude that got to me. The endless corridors, the rows of dark offices, the echo of my own footsteps. It was lonely, but I told myself it was just a job. I needed the money, and I could handle being alone. But soon, the loneliness started to feel crowded. No open doors, no place to go. It was like they just dissolved into the shadows. I tried to brush it off. Then, I started hearing things. It began subtly. A faint whisper that sounded like it was coming from just over my shoulder. I'd whip my head around, but of course no one was there. Not shouted. Not in a menacing tone, just a soft, breathy whisper. The ventilation system, the wind outside. But the sound was too clear, too personal. It was a voice, and it knew me. The strangeness escalated. I started finding notes. They weren't threatening, not in the traditional sense. They were just bizarre. Random strings of numbers, drawings of symbols I'd never seen before, in short. Cryptic phrases like "they are watching from below" or "doing look at the reflections." Who was leaving them? I was the only one on my floor. I checked the security logs. No one had entered or left for hours. The notes just appeared like little pieces of a puzzle I didn't have the box for. The feeling of being watched became constant. It was a heavy, palpable pressure on the back of my neck. I'd feel it most intensely when I was in rooms that were supposed to be secure, like the small windowless break room. I was in the main archive room, a cavernous space filled with towering shelves of old files that stretched up into the darkness above. The lights in there were motion-activated and notoriously faulty. They'd flicker and die at the worst moments. I was plunged into absolute blackness. I stood perfectly still, waiting for them to come back on. And in that total, silent darkness, I heard it. It wasn't a whisper this time. It was a soft, rhythmic tapping. My heart was hammering against my ribs. My logical brain was screaming, but my survival instinct was louder. I didn't wait for the lights, turned and ran, stumbling blindly through the dark, my hands outstretched, banging into shelves and sending files scattering. And didn't stop running until I was back in the relative safety of my brightly lit office. I locked the door, sank into my chair, and just sat there, shaking, until the sun came up. I never went back into the archive room again. After that night, I started looking for a new job. I couldn't take it anymore. The lack of sleep, the constant fear, the feeling that I was slowly losing my mind. I never figured out what was going on in that building. I never found answers to any of my questions. Who were the silent figures? I avoid looking too closely at my reflection in dark windows. I get an uneasy feeling when a room is too quiet. This story doesn't have a neat conclusion. There's no monster unmasked, no ghost explained away. The world is full of shadows, and sometimes those shadows move. They watch us when we're tired and alone. They whisper our names when no one is around. They remind us that not everything that looks normal is what it seems, and that some secrets are meant to stay hidden in the dark. So, the next time you're up late and the world feels quiet and still, just remember, you're probably not as alone as you think. Thank you so much for listening to my story. If it sent a chill down your spine, please hit that like button. And be sure to follow and subscribe to the channel for more true scary stories. Stay safe out there, and be careful in the dark.